Hello everyone, welcome to Four Lads of the Dream podcast here in Warsaw. We're just about to leave in the next half an hour to travel to Białystok and watch Rangers tonight in Europe. Had a great time here, a nice Italian last night, and Warsaw's a really beautiful city. I think well worth a visit. Architecturally it's absolutely beautiful. And it is warm. I've never experienced heat like this apart from Vegas. It is beautifully warm. And of course, being Scottish, I just assume that the weather's just like Scotland. But already speaking to some of the players and things yesterday, the heat is exactly, topic of conversation for everyone. But as for Rangers tonight, I think we're up against it. I'll be totally honest. I think everybody is under no illusions that this is a very, very tough game. We're all looking forward to it, but I'll be honest with you, despite what the bookies say, I don't think Rangers are favourites for this game at all. I think we come into it and keeping the tie alive tonight by means of a draw. If we can sneak a win, then absolutely fantastic. We would need a performance, I think, up there with Fenerbahce away to get anything from today, that's for sure. I think we can. I think we're capable. I think, I think the team is interesting. I think the back four is fairly set now. I would say that Pandor obviously plays in goals. I would go Dujon, Sterling at right back and two Romans at left. And in the middle would go Manny Fernandez and Alehu Macania, who has to come in. I don't think Ross McCrory playing in there is a good idea, although I can understand if he maybe does start. I think that's where I would be defensively. In midfield, I'm starting Dragicevic. I think he has to come in. I'm also playing Nico Raskin and Cami Devlin in there. A really tight three. I would play Telo Asgard in there as well, possibly off the left-hand side. And and that gives you Chermiti up front, and I think on the right hand side I'm starting our new player Dakota. So I think I'm going more a 4-5-1. It allows Raskin to kind of bomb on from midfield as well. If Nico Raskin's going to be here, we need to use him. He's good enough for Belgium in the World Cup, then he's certainly good enough for Rangers. A 4-5-1, I think. I wouldn't start Lawrence Shanklin tonight. Controversial possibly, but unless we're going to be creating chances and things, then I'm not starting him. I would play Yusuf up by himself and get Raskin and Asgard up as close to him as possible in that kind of 4-5-1 way. It's going to be interesting to see how Derek does that. 4-5-1 could also quickly become a 4-3-3 with Asgard and Dakota going right up. Or Daisuke. I'm not going to get this boy's name at all on this podcast, so that's going to be fun. But I'm really looking forward to seeing him. He's a player I really like. £4 million is an outlay for us. And obviously the transfers now are ramping up, aren't they? I think that's clear. Even in speaking to people at the club yesterday, there's business to be done. Rangers want a left back. James Penrice is very much at the forefront of our thoughts. Whether or not that can get done, it remains to be seen. I think Ike are looking for a fee of around £2 million. I think Rangers have got to go and meet that. I think James Penrice, Scottish, knows the league, knows what's required. I think he should really be in our thoughts as a very top target. I'd be surprised if James Penrice wasn't a Rangers player very soon. On gut feeling, I just think that's a move that can be made. We certainly need a centre half. And I would say as well, there's another one or two wingers to come in. And if you include our first ever Japanese player, like Yokata, who arrived, then that's up at 5. And it was funny, there's a funny story yesterday actually. I was on the way to the Glasgow airport, and I was walking just down Inchinnan Road, and a boy stopped and said, "Are you Stevie Clifford from Four Lads?" I said, "Aye, brilliant, I'm a big fan." And jump in, and he was trying to get information on signings, and I said to him, "Buddy, I don't really know, but I suspect we could have as many as 5 in," and that included obviously Yokata, who we just got in yesterday morning. So another 4. I don't think that's beyond the realms of possibility when you think about a left back, centre back, 1 or 2 wingers. It will certainly be around about 4 or 5 bodies still to come in for Rangers. And I think, I don't think that's unreasonable. And that would be massive. That would take Rangers up to 13 odd players this summer. And that's a huge turnover. At some point, we have to have some calm. This really needs to hit in the next 3-4 weeks and make sure that we do our business properly. Of course, we're being linked to the PSV winger, Druish, who's going to be another one for me to pronounce, isn't he, if he comes in. And he's a marvellous player. A ball carrier, does his best work in space. Not so good playing against low blocks, according to what PSV fans would say. And that slightly bothers me. But in terms of being a target, I think he's right up there. And of course, there has been other bids, £8 million for the other winger and things as well. So Rangers are certainly now ramping up their transfer business. Whether or not they're reacting to fans, I'm not sure, or they're reacting to the fact that they've seen them against Dundee United and Denhay McInnes says, right, come on, we need to get our transfer targets in business need to land quickly. That's what he said in the press, so it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. What I am a bit nervous about is that Rangers fans were focusing all our energy on Dan Purdy and things like that. Dan Purdy's a technical scout. He doesn't sign players. He doesn't negotiate the deals. He doesn't push deals forward. Dan Purdy's a scout, so it's his job to present a list of players to the manager and to others and to put his point across. Dan Purdy doesn't get a say in who in finalising deals. He gets a say in who we sign, but he doesn't get final say or anything. That's the manager, and that's Andrew Kavanagh and Jim Gillespie and things. I think we pigeonholed somebody in Dan Purdy into a blame culture that I don't really think needs to be met. And what happens then if Yasuki Yakota comes in and he's that's probably about my 8th different pronunciation of his name in this video. He comes in and he's brilliant, or we do manage to get the boy Druish from PSV. Is Dan Purdy suddenly flavour of the month and things? I just think we need to be careful about, I don't want another big blame culture at Rangers where we are all against people within the club. It happened with Thelwell and Stewart because it was necessary. Is it really necessary at the moment? I'm not sure. We've drawn a game against Dundee United. I think we need to just wait and see what happens over the coming weeks. I see a lot of people saying to me, don't care about Europe. But you can bet your bottom dollar that if we get beat tonight, people will care. Rangers need to win every single game. There's a pressure there that everybody is aware of. And I think we're all aware of that going into this game late this afternoon tonight. Rangers can get a result. Rangers are very capable of getting a result here, but it's all about what we do. I'll tell you this same old boring rhetoric. The only team that can stop Rangers is Rangers. Unless, of course, you're playing a world beater like Barcelona, and then there's things you can't do. But tonight, we're playing a team that are pretty equal and they're good standing. They've lost a few players, done very well in Europe and things last year, but there's no reason why Rangers can't go out and push on and get a result. And we'll just need to wait and see. We'll have all the match reaction tonight. I'm going to do some vlogging. Amrit's going to do some vlog. Amrit's in the Rangers end. We're in with corporate and things, so we'll not be in the away end, but we'll be able to give you different opinions and stuff and do our own match day vlogs. But I'm very much looking forward to it. Team selection will be a mile away from what I selected, that's for sure. I can tell you right now. That's for sure. But it's going to be an interesting one. Your Dan Neils and Ross McCrory's and things will probably have a big say. Lawrence Shankland will most likely start, although I wouldn't. It's going to be interesting to see what he does there. Backline may even be different as well. So that was your football manager take, hot on the press from Stevie, but it'll not be the same. But what I would like to say, folks, is that we're all here and we all want the best thing for Rangers. We all have different opinions on who we're signing and what we're doing and things like that. But it would be interesting to get all your feedback. Please come into the comments. Absolutely. But one thing for sure, we all hope for the same thing, and that's a Rangers victory this evening. Huge thanks to all our sponsors who make these things possible. Huge thanks to Kindred as well, our shirt sponsors, who've made this possible for me to be here today and took me along as a guest. So thank you very much for that. Very much looking forward to it. Thank you as well to Big Ian Martin from Athlon Industrial Solutions. Ian a long-time sponsor of the channel, is also going to come back and sponsor the podcast again. So we're really grateful to Ian. Just phenomenal support as usual. And yeah, we paid Rangers now for advertising in 2026-27. So every one of you watch and subscribe can be really proud of being part of that for Four Lads, because without our sponsors, it's not possible. And you guys have made it all possible, and we really, really appreciate that. So all I've got left to say is good luck to Derek McInnes and the team this evening. We all want one thing, and that's a good result for Rangers and for things to start getting better for our football club on the pitch this season in terms of trophies and success and things like that. That's all we ever want here at Four Lads. Certainly all I ever want. I've been a season ticket holder for over 30 odd years, and I still have my tickets even though we sit in the media gantry. I would never give them up. And that's just another way that I like to support the football club like everybody. So all we want are successful Rangers. Starting with tonight, go and get a good result. Sign some players that Stevie could pronounce. That would be nice. But in all honesty, no, obviously. Just let's get a good result. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Good luck to Derek and the team this evening. And take care for now. We'll have all the action and reaction tonight. The boys are on with the post-match as well tonight. So get viewing and join in. And let's hope that this is a good result for Rangers. Thanks for listening. Take care, everyone. Bye for now. The Four Lads Rangers podcast is proudly sponsored by Candid, LBJ Consultants, CBD Oil Scotland, Elite Scooters Scotland, and Metaclad, Four Lads' exclusive roofing partner. The Aesthetics Lounge by Sharon, Denhay, the quintessential British bacon. Thank you to all our sponsors, and in partnership with Black Rooster, Art of Gold, and Rangers Youth Development Company. Thank you for listening to or watching the podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show.